Welcome back to the Gamble Smart channel. Hope you guys are doing well out there. So today we're going to talk about the 5 different types of gamblers, from the super disciplined all the way down to people needing help. If you are a gambler or you know somebody that is a gambler, this is going to be the perfect video for you. It's not going to be exciting. I'm not revealing any industry secrets or anything like that. But I think it's really important that you guys kind of figure out where you are, what you need to improve, because it's all about responsible gaming. We want to have fun, we want to be entertained, but we don't want to have the downsides of gambling, because it's a very serious thing, and if you're not paying attention, you could slip and you're not going to even notice it's happening. So today's video is going to help you avoid that. It's going to teach you what to look for, and no matter what group that you think that you're in, it's going to make you become a better gambler, because you're going to move up the ladder to the super discipline where we all should aspire to be. And before we wrap up the video, I do have something I want you guys to do to take part in this, so stay tuned for that. Let's get into it. All right, as always, if you're new here, we want to welcome you to the Gamble Smart channel. We are here to better educate you to become smarter, more knowledgeable, and responsible gamblers by doing videos like this, as well as casino operations, how slot machines work, how they trick you, all those types of things. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, we would love a subscription and a thumbs up at the end of this video if you ended up liking it. All right, so again, like I mentioned, we are going to talk about the 5 different types of gamblers, and I want you to pay attention to each of these and see which one you think that you are currently in and what you would like to be in. I think we can all improve on our game, and what I'm going to do in this video is break down each of the 5. I'm going to share some characteristics for each of those different groups so you can help identify where you're at, and then I'm going to give you some recommendations on what to do to move up the ladder to the better group, right? We always want to be better. We want to be more responsible. We want to have fun. We want to be entertained. And we cannot do that if we're continuously breaking our own rules and making things worse. All right, so pay attention, listen up, see which group you belong in, and then let's see if we can make you a better gambler out of it. Okay, let's get into it. So first one, super disciplined. These guys don't need any help. And very few of you are going to be in this group. And I'm confidently going to say that. If you are the type of person that sees gambling as just pure entertainment, I mean literally, you always stick to your budget. You never break that rule. If you bring in 300, that's it. You've got 300. You're, ATM, you don't even go to it. Even if you brought your cards, you're not even inclined to go get more cash. You have 300 and that's it. You never chase your losses. Okay? You are just always non-emotional in a way where it's not controlling what is going on, okay? It's okay to get emotional. You want to get excited and bummed out when you win or lose, but you're not making drastic decisions based off of that emotion. That is the super discipline. This is the group that everybody should aspire to be in, but it's very tough to get here. And so I understand if you're never going to be able to reach this level, but you can at least increase and better your game to try to get up to this level, if that makes sense. This is a tough one, right? Because you know how it is. You can have the best budget ideas in the world. You can have a plan that's 100% solid proof, and you walk in the casino, and what happens? It goes to crap, right? It happens. And if you're that type of person, you're probably not super disciplined, but you're probably pretty disciplined. And that's group number 4. Let's get into that one. All right, and now we've got the discipline. And this is where I think a large majority probably end up, or at least pretty close to that. And I think discipline is good, right? You're the type of person that really does go with a plan, okay? And you have a certain amount of money, but every now and then you get emotional, and every now and then you might slip up, but not drastically so, right? You're bringing 300, you may take an extra 100 out of the ATM, but then that's it, okay? Or you don't really chase, but sometimes you might put an extra 20 in to the machine that you're playing before you get off, but you don't go overboard, right? You're not putting hundreds and thousands of dollars into the machine to chase. You're making mistakes every now and then, but you're still staying very level-headed. Okay, you're in control, and you know that there's limits in place. In this group, most people are leaving their ATM cards at home. They don't have cash advances turned on their card. They bring the money that they can safely afford to lose, but sometimes they get a little reckless. It happens. It's gambling. So it's not easy. You know how it is in the casino. They're always trying to do things to get you to play more and more and more. But you are smart enough if you're in this group to realize that and to stick to your guns. And I'm proud of you for being in this group. But you can always do better, of course, right? You want to get up to the super discipline if you're in this group, which is nothing affects you, right? You just never have any issues. You never overextend for any reason whatsoever. The $300 is the $300. That's it. Like, that's what you really want to go for, because if you reach that level, it is pure entertainment, baby. That's all it is. And you're just hoping for a good trip. You look at it as just entertainment only, meaning it's like going to a baseball game or going to a trip or going on a cruise or whatever. Instead of doing that, you've brought that money to gamble with, and when it's gone, but you had a lot of fun and you didn't go into the poorhouse, right? That's what we should aim for if you're in this group. So I think a lot of you are in this group. I'm proud of you. It's difficult to even get up to this level. Group number 3 is where I think the majority of us are and why we need a lot of help. All right, let's get into group number 3. All right, group number 3, the good and the bad. So this is kind of like, I would say probably, the neutral zone, mixed. It's basically sometimes you do good, sometimes you do bad, and you may be starting to show signs of weakness. Weakness meaning that you're not fully in control of the situation. So if you find yourself chasing losses more frequently, or that you're definitely bringing more accesses to cash, right? Instead of the $300, you definitely have your ATM cards with you. You're not afraid to use them. You may even be doing cash advances, stuff like that. This is the group where you probably need to put more controls in place. So if you find yourself chasing losses here, you just cannot get off a machine until you get some kind of victory, or you're saying to yourself, well, I brought 300, but I know in my mind I have my ATM card, so I can always go get more. Or you're just playing for a lot longer than you thought you should. Like your session was to bring a couple hundred down, play for maybe an hour, and suddenly it's 3 a.m. and you're thousands of dollars down. Like, this is time to act, right? This is time to put some controls in place. And this is what I recommend. There's 2 things I recommend if you're in this group to get you up to the next group, which is the discipline group. Is number 1, leave the ATM cards at home. Call up and turn off cash advances on all your credit cards. You need to kind of have a credit card or something with you because you got to put it on for the hotel and all this kind of stuff, incidentals. But you can definitely turn off cash advances. You need to remove all sources of being able to get cash. You need to know that the $300 that you brought is all you got. And I'm telling you, it makes a big, big difference if you know that all you have is 300. Think about this. Let's say that you said, yeah, my budget's 300, but you brought all your ATM cards and everything. What is constantly in your back of your mind while you're playing that 300? I can always get more, right? And so suddenly what you really brought is not 300, you brought 2,000. You just don't physically have it in your hand yet, but it's likely to occur because you put that, into arm's length where you can actually get to that. And that's the danger zone. We shouldn't be doing that. We should be bringing the money that we can safely afford to lose and not think that we have any other way to get cash. So that's fix number 1. That'll bump you right up to the discipline group, is to remove all that. Bring what you can, and that's it. And the second thing is creating your sessions and taking breaks. Listen, inside of the casino environment, it's very easy to get tunnel vision. It's very easy to fall victim to all the lights, the bells, the sounds, everybody winning, everybody losing, just everything's crazy. Sometimes it's just a madhouse in there. And it's hard to remove yourself from the gambling environment if you just keep playing. So if you are on a string of losses, or maybe even a string of wins, I think it works on both sides of those. If you're winning or you're losing, take a break, right? At least an hour. I recommend 2 hours. Go do something else. Go to the spa, go eat dinner, do what I do. Go lock yourself in your room and watch a movie, play a video game, make a couple phone calls, do some work, whatever the case is. That 2 hours is critical to resetting your brain into a more reasonable state of mind, okay? That is what you need to be in all the time when you're on the casino floor, is being able to reason with yourself constantly, not in a negative way. You need to be level-headed. And you're not going to be level-headed if those endorphins and the dopamine hits and everything is just consuming you in your brain while you're on the casino floor. If you ever feel that way, if you feel like you're just losing control, where the value of the dollar has just disappeared, where you're throwing hundreds in a machine like they're dollar bills, if you ever feel like that, stop. Just stop what you're doing, immediately get off the casino floor, and go do something else. I'm telling you, this is the best advice I can possibly give you. If you've ever felt this way, it has worked for me. It has saved me from thousands of dollars of losses, because I just end up walking away and feeling so much better in a couple hours when I hit the casino floor again, because I've let everything come back to neutral. You got to go back to that neutral state so that you can reason with yourself. Okay. So mixed good and bad. I think a lot of us are here. It's time to improve, guys. It's time to try different things. Don't try to do the whole thing. Say, I'm in this group, but I'm going to be super disciplined on the next trip. Guys, it's not going to happen that quickly. Okay? But you can put one thing at a time. Every single time you go to the next casino visit, do one thing different that you didn't do last time. Leave the ATM card at home this time. Or just take a break. Do something different. Do not continue the way that you are doing it, because what's going to happen is you're going to eventually slip into number 4 and number 5, which we're about to talk about. And that's the danger zone. That's when things start getting real. You have real problems that are causing real effects on your life. And we don't want anybody to get to that point. We want to stop you here, give you the tools that you need to improve your game so that you can move up the ladder. That's what we want. Think about being more disciplined. All right? Let's get to number 4 and number 5. All right, before we start talking about number 4 and number 5, I do want to say something, and this is something I've kind of just noticed in the industry, and I don't like the negative connotation to problem gaming, right? I don't like how the pamphlets say, are you a problem gambler? I don't like people being called degenerates, all this kind of stuff. It's just too negative, right? I want this to be looked at as a positive thing, meaning that it's time for change. Let's help each other get there, right? Don't call me a problem gambler, because I don't like being called something that just seems so, such an insult, right? And I'm less likely to do something about it if everybody's just insulting me all the time. I'm just going to get more depressed. I'm not going to be in the mindset to do something to better it. I'm probably just going to start hiding it more, not even telling people I'm going, right? Let's say it's time for you to get better or time to quit. And we'll talk about that on number 5. But if you're slipping into number 4, which I call getting bad, if you're in this group, you really need to pay attention to what I'm about to tell you, because this is when you're getting into the danger zone. If you find yourself constantly thinking about gambling, right, you can't wait for your next trip. You are doing things like selling things or getting loans or whatever the case is to have a bigger gambling budget than you normally do. If you feel yourself constantly chasing, like you are just never satisfied with any result on any game that you play, you're just chasing, that's also something to look out for. Or if you're constantly overextending yourself, the $300, we're just going to stick to that. You bring $300, next thing you know, you're $5,000 in, right? That's a big, big no-no. We don't want to do that. That's taking the fun out of it, and you're slipping into a mode where it's tough to get out of, right? So I don't think all hope is lost when you're at this stage, if you are in this group. But just think positive, right? Try to talk to yourself to say, you know what? I think it's time to make a change. And I think if you are in this group, the first thing that I would do more than anything else is to take a break. Take a 3-month break at minimum from gambling completely. No lottery, no scratch tickets, no casinos, no sports betting, nothing. Take a 3-month break, and then at the end of that 3-month, evaluate yourself. Do you still feel like you want to get back into gambling? A lot of people just say, you know what? I felt incredible over these 3 months not gambling. I'm just going to continue on. Congratulations. You should do that, right? But if you want to make changes, think about what you're going to do over those 3 months, because we don't want you to fall back into that. So here's the advice that I would take. Number 1, 3-month break. Number 2, if you are a local, if you are in a place where there's a lot of casinos around you, talk to the casino cage about self-exclusion. Okay, this is a very, very powerful tool, and every licensed casino has this. Basically, go up there and tell them, I would like to self-exclude for the next 3 months. Most of them will let you do it for a certain time period. Some are, it's one and all. Like you self-exclude, you can't get off the list. You may strongly consider doing that as well, right? There's other casinos later on if you want to visit them, right? But self-exclude. This means you are not allowed on the property. You're legitimately trespassed from that property. And what better way to get you to not gamble than to think you're going to get in criminal trouble if you show up, right? I know it sounds crazy, and I'm not laughing because it sounds, ridiculous. I'm laughing because when you get to this point, sometimes you have to do radical things. Sometimes you have to think outside the box and do things that you normally would not do to protect yourself from yourself. Okay, and I'm being very serious about that because I don't want to see people in this situation. I have been there before where I'm in this group, and I don't want anybody else to be there, right? I'm not a psychiatrist or psychologist, but I've been at this group. I know how I got there, and I know how I got out of there. All right? And that's what I want to tell you guys on what the best things are that you can do. All right, now let's talk about number 5, and this is simply you need help. It's just become too much of an issue and a problem. It's way overextending to the point where you have no money to pay bills. You are, the only thing you can ever think about is when is your next gambling trip. You are devastating your personal life with spouses, friends, family members, whatever. They see you being depressed. You're stealing money from them to go gamble, whatever the case is. This group is obviously very serious, and I don't want people, if you do know somebody, let's say you do have a family member that you feel belongs in this group, the worst thing that you can do is to start insulting him and say, why can't you get your shit together? Guys, that's never going to work for any addiction, right? They need help. This is a disease. This is a legitimate disease, okay? This isn't some make-believe thing that people have come up with. This is an addiction that is very serious, affects a lot of people every single year, and it's only getting worse. The numbers are climbing every single year. Year over year, more people are getting addicted to gambling than the year before. And I don't see that trend slowing down anytime soon. What you need to do, if you have anybody in this group, or you think yourself that you're in the group, seek help. Okay, I'm going to put some resources in the description below. They're anonymous. You don't need to tell anybody, right? If you're sitting at home right now watching this and you know that you have a problem, please, I encourage you with everything that I have in my body, please reach out to them. They will help you, okay? I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it's going to be something that will completely change your life and your outlook on life. And it's really important that you take that advice and make the next step. It's a very small step in the grand scheme of things. Reach out. Make the phone call. You can even send them a text, right? If you're not the kind of person who likes to talk on the phone, send them a text message and say, I need help. It will make a big difference. It really will. All right? So I don't mean this video to end up kind of on a negative note, but it's important that you guys kind of realize where you're at here, because responsibility in gaming is something we should all strive to be focused on. It's about entertainment first. It has to be. And I know we watch a lot of YouTube videos and there's a lot of crazy stuff out there, people betting high and all that. If you cannot afford to do that, you shouldn't be emulating that, right? Focus on what you can afford. Stay disciplined. Try to move yourself up in a ladder. And if you do, I fully congratulate you. Let us know in the comments that you have, because that will mean the world to me, seeing that you took some of this advice, put it into place, and are becoming more disciplined. That's all we really want from you guys on this channel, is to just do a better job, and you will thank me for it. You'll thank Dave for it. You'll have more fun in the casino. You won't have the devastating effects that affect so many of us. Try to do better on your next trip. All right, so what is it that I want you guys to do? So I created a poll. I'll put the link on the screen here and also in the description. It's completely anonymous. I want you to let us know which of the groups you think you fall into. Just so one click, go on there, submit it, and in a couple of weeks, make sure you're subscribed. In a couple of weeks, I'll reveal the results, and then we will go over it together, what I think about it and what we think we should do as a group together. Sound cool? All right, let's do it. Guys, gamble smart, gamble safe, be safe out there. We really are looking after you. We're trying our best to get you the right information so you can stay on top of your game. All right? Take care. Bye-bye.